Hello, folks. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers. I am still amazed at some of the things I hear coming out of people's mouths. Having been trained as an economist years ago, I actually have some knowledge. And there are people out there that listen to the Jim Cramers in this world, and they believe whatever shit he spews to them. The one that I think is the funniest is that Ford Motor Company is having to leave this country because the tariffs are too high. uh, get a brain, people. The External Revenue Service is to collect revenues from countries and companies that are trying to bring things into America to sell. If you're already in America, you're not paying any tariffs. The reason that the prices are so high on the things that these companies sell, and the reason why they can't sell it, is because of the fact of inflation. Back in the early 70s, the Bretton Woods II, they took the metals backing away from the money, creating what became known as fiat. Now, here's the situation. The people who were taking all of your money in taxes were not happy because you still had some disposable income. So what do? Well, they decide they're going to inflate the money so that they can get the rest of your money. And so that's exactly what they did. And so when they took the metals off of the money, they were able to go ahead and create as much money as they wanted. And they got it down to where a fiat dollar is not worth more than a square of toilet paper. And so now they're interchangeable. You can either use Charmin or you can use a dollar bill. It doesn't matter. In fact, you could use a 20 and it wouldn't matter. But for me to hear people with master's degrees and doctorate degrees and so on saying that companies have to leave the United States because of tariffs, I'm sorry, that's the funniest thing that I've ever heard. Now, I could understand it if a company could no longer sell their products in the United States. However, the fact is that America is the best game in town. If you're going to sell your products anywhere, you have to be able to sell them in the United States because it's the biggest market in the world. If you can't sell them in the United States, then your company is on its way out. That's very simple. That's why every country in the world says that we are the hottest nation on the planet, is because of the fact that this nation, because of what President Trump is doing, is growing exponentially. Our economy is going crazy. He is forcing companies to come back to the United States because the tariffs are high enough that they can't afford to send their products in. Even if you're paying a very nominal fee to workers in other countries, you can't afford it. You just simply cannot afford it. And so you come back to the United States, you reopen the plants that you have existing here that were closed, and you start manufacturing your stuff here because it's cheaper. Ultimately, you're going to see Ford products and other products start going down as they open up more and more plants in the United States. But when I hear a Jim Cramer or some other idiot who's making tens of millions of dollars a year to tell you the opposite, and you actually believe it and you regurgitate it hook, line, and sinker, that just absolutely floors me. I'm sorry, only 30% of the population isn't awake. But the problem is that a lot of these people are educated and stupefied. and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I just have to laugh. I'm so sorry, but I can't help it. I try to be professional and I try to explain it to them, but you can't explain it to them. They are so vehemently uh, convinced that what they learned in the education system and what they hear on TV is the gospel, that they can't listen to any reality and they don't know what they're talking about. And I feel so bad for you people, but it is laughable when I hear somebody with a doctorate degree say something that is ridiculous. I got out of college. I was in my master's degree, and I got out of college because I realized that I simply didn't want to learn anymore from those dumb idiots. I'm sorry, but that's the way it was. And so I decided that I was going to get out, and a lot of you should have gotten out when you had the chance. This is Calvin from Good Day, Good Prayers. Remember, External Revenue Service is tariffs on things coming into the country, not things going out of the country. And keep in mind that if you're here in the United States and you're a company, you're in the catbird seat. So when somebody tries to tell you that tariffs are too high and companies have to leave the U.S., that's just laughable. That's just laughable. You folks have a good day.